It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news. This is the Southwest Outdoors Report.
Hi everybody, on an absolutely perfect fall day, I'd like to welcome you into the beautiful state of Oklahoma and one of my favorite lakes in the entire Southwest region. I'd like to welcome you up to the Arbuckle Mountains in south central Oklahoma to Arbuckle Lake. We are located just south and east of the small town of Davis, Oklahoma, on a really pretty lake that's got several species of fish swimming in it, including largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, spotted bass, crappie, catfish, white bass, and even some others. On today's show, we're going to attempt to catch some bass for you, but it could be very difficult. And while I'm doing that, you're going around the Southwest region for your latest reports. Also this week on the Lawrence Hot Lake of the Week, I'm going to be showing you a great bay fishing saltwater hotspot. We'll have your Coast to Catch of the Week, your big fish photos, and a couple of other surprises in the next half hour. But first, we take you all the way back to the FSN studios where Julie has your weekend planner.
Hey there everybody, it's time for us to pass along some of the information you'll need for planning a fishing trip this weekend. According to the Salooner tables, conditions will be mixed. Saturday looks to have fair conditions with peak activity taking place at 1:45 in the afternoon, while Sunday appears a little better with good conditions predicted to begin at 2:45 p.m. Expect sunrise to take place at 7 o'clock with sunset happening at 5:25. And evenings will feature a crescent moon 20% visible. We'll be right back with all of your fishing reports from around the Southwest. And I'll return with the Whataburger after the pro.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Nitro Performance Bass Boats. Fish your best in a Nitro. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. Quality soft plastic baits made in Oklahoma with American pride. By Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. And by Motor Guide Trolling Motors. Engineering for angling.
There we go, we got one. Hey, welcome back everybody. You're at Lake Arbuckle today and you can see we're fishing right up beside a straight rock bluff. What I'm doing is trying to keep the boat in as close as I possibly can to it. Throw a little plastic shaky head worm on a lead head and just rolling it down this bluff. There he is, coming right down the shade line. Not big. All right, well, at least it's a start anyway. Well, there's a bass, and small though he is, he at least gets us going a little bit this morning. I want to mention a couple of things. One is this lake has started growing some hydrilla beds. First time in a couple of years that I've ever seen any hydrilla here, but I did manage to catch a fish real early this morning on a big hydrilla bed that's out on the main lake, and I'll show you just a quick clip of that and then just a look at what that big hydrilla bed looks like. But it's scattered around some other places as well, and the wildlife department here came and did some testing, drug a rake through a lot of the coves here and found hydrilla in nearly every cove in the lake. So it's really growing up. That's going to make the bass fishing even better. I'll show you the worm a little bit later on the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff and some of the tackle we're using today, but at least we got a bass to get it started. And to get our fishing report started, let's go elsewhere in Oklahoma, see what's happening in the Sooner State with Gary Dollahad.
This week's fishing report is in honor of first grandchild Robert Oscar Dollahad. Made the weigh-in on Monday and definitely made the bragging board. 20.5 inches, 7 pounds, 13 ounces. Now, while some people might think that his initials spelling the word rod is by coincidence, I'm not quite so sure. But Robert and all Oklahoma anglers will be happy to know that the fish are biting across the state. Had a couple of notes this week from John Bond of Daylight Donuts Corporation saying he's discovered the Bobby Garland scent wiggler is a great alternative to live minnows for crappie. He's had some tremendous days fishing off the docks at Grand Lake. Also took that same bait to the Verdigris River, caught a really nice mess of large slabs. Now, Jimmy Talbert and Mike Taylor visited both Lake Eufaula and Lake Tenkiller this week, and they've given me the same report from both places. They said they targeted the steeper banks, mid to lower end of the lake, and throwing 4-inch soft plastic finesse baits rigged on either a stand-up jig head or the 3/16 ounce Tommy Biffle hardhead casting to the bank, dragging them back out along the bottom, have caught good numbers of fish. Catching spotted bass, largemouth, smallmouth. Also caught a few nice smallmouth first thing in the morning on topwater, chug bugs. They said that those bass are in great shape, and by good numbers, I'm talking 40 to 65 fish per day on both those places. So the fish are biting. Great fishing time of year in Oklahoma. One thing about it, you can't catch them if you don't go.
If you saw our show a couple of weeks ago, you know that we were down at the South Padre Island area catching some big redfish, and we're going back there in a couple of more weeks for some other species. So I thought we would highlight it for you this week on the Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week. And let's first of all locate it for you on the Lowrance HDS-10. First, we locate the Port Isabel area here, and due east of there is South Padre Island with all its resorts and beaches. The causeway here connects the two. From Port Isabel, you can go at least 4 different directions for fish. First of all, you can go up the Brownsville Ship Channel for snook, reds, and trout. Then you can go under the causeway and out into the Laguna Madre for reds, trout, flounder, and black drum. Also, you can go into South Bay, straight south of there for snook, trout, and redfish. Or you can go out into the Gulf and fish the beachfront for several different species. In fact, anything that swims in the ocean is out there. So a trip down to South Padre might be a good one for you to make in the fall and wintertime months. The fish bite there year-round. That's this week's Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week. As we go to break, here are some more of our viewers and fans' big fish photos. Got one. Right out here off that little rock ledge. Gonna come up. Gonna come up out there. There he is. Good jump. All right. Hey, we're on Arbuckle Lake today. Picked up my little spinning rod. Got Strentsonic braid line on it with some fluorocast fluorocarbon leader. There's a rock ledge that runs right out here in front of us, and I pitched it right up on that rock ledge, pulled a little shaky head, lead head, jig head worm off. Here he comes. I'm trying to be easy with him because I've got pretty light line on here. I've got 6-pound test strand fluorocast leader on it. Now he's tiring out. And I actually have him hooked pretty good. There we go. That's a decent fish right there. All right, largemouth bass, and there's that little lead head worm I caught him on right there. Just a little shaky tail, and you just clip it along those rocks. All right, back he goes. Give you a good little look here at what some of these rocks look like. Anywhere you can find rocks on this lake, the chunk rock, like you see here, a little further down, we've got more straight down bluffs and cliffs that are just pretty much straight down rock walls. And then you've got some pea gravel. So those are the 3 basic types of rocks you're going to find on Arbuckle. All right, we got bass going this morning here at Arbuckle Lake. Love to catch them on light spinning tackle like this, and it'll be good like this right through the fall. And this is even a good wintertime lake as well. There are some big fish in here. I'll tell you about a giant here in just a second. But right now, we're going to check in with Brian Hughes, see what's going on down in Texas.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by A1 Locksmith, who reminds you can find answers to many of your questions at the website a1locksmith.com. Plus, there are special discount offers for our viewers only. Now this week we're going to head out to Cypress Springs, where the crappie fishermen will want to focus on the brush piles, more specifically brush piles in front of the many boat docks and boathouses on Cypress Springs. These dock owners frequently pile Christmas trees and other brush out in front of their dock. This time of year, they're not there at their vacation home, so you get to fish the bounty. Now, look for brush piles in 10 to 15 feet of water and drop down either crappie jigs or minnow rigs on top of them. Bass fishermen at Cypress Springs will want to fish the creeks in the mouths and about halfway back using your standard moving baits like spinner baits, jerk baits, and of course maybe buzz baits early in the morning. But you will want to have a Texas rig ready when that bite picks up. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by A1 Locksmith. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island, the fishing capital of Texas, where anglers enjoy pristine bays, estuaries, 18 miles of surf, and the deep blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Plus the local restaurants will even cook your catch come sundown. Come fish and play Texas Island style. For more information, visit the website on the screen. Well, the coldest weather of the season descended upon the Texas coast and dropped water temperatures into the 60s. Even with a warm-up this weekend and next week, look for fish to feed more aggressively as the onset of winter begins. Fish will start to make a transition toward mud shell bottoms and feed on flats or along shallow shorelines that have deeper water nearby. Now, Sabine, Galveston, Trinity, Chocolate, and Matagorda bays will continue to see bird activity as more bait is blown out of the marshes and into the bays. Deeper guts and channels will hold fish out of Port O'Connor, and San Antonio Bay's reefs will see fish slip a little deeper into the water column. The Lydia Ann Channel around Dagger Island, Shamrock channels, and channels either side of the JFK Causeway will see better fishing, with fish moving up on the flats as temperatures warm during the day. The land cut and the deeper rocks of the mouth of Baffin Bay will have also given up solid fish. The Brownsville Ship Channel is turning on for snook, and Mexquita Flats is a good choice for trout and redfish. Topwater lures, soft plastics, and live bait have all caught fish. All the Texas jetties and surrounding flats are also good options, particularly for flounder. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
There's one, I got one. Right off that bluff, right in front of us. Feels like a decent fish, whatever it is, but it's staying deep. It might be a catfish or something. Big old catfish. All right, well, it's a fish nonetheless, and it just shows you there's all kinds of fish in this lake. And there we go. There's your little Arbuckle Lake catfish for you right there. Put that one back, and we're going to take you to a break, but before I do, I want to show you something. I got here yesterday, a day early, and I just wanted to spend a little time fishing the lake. It had been a couple of years since I had been to Arbuckle. And a boat right next to me hooked into a fish, and it was a big one. So you're looking at a couple of photos I took with my iPhone of Billy Stewart of Newcastle, Oklahoma. What a whopper, had a big old fat belly. He caught it on a big deep diving crankbait. There are some huge bass right here in Arbuckle. All right, we're going to a quick break right here, but before we do, I want to mention something. We are showing a lot of photos that didn't make the Coast to Catch of the week, so as we go to break, here's a bunch more of our fan photos. Great pictures nonetheless.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Tracker Boats, Fish the Finest, by Lowrance, and the all-new HDS Gen 2 with Structure Map Overview, by Stren Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability, by Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there, by Whataburger, proud to serve it hot and fresh 24 hours a day, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price, every day.
Right there. Got him. Now he's swimming at me. Don't go into the boat. All right. There's another bass right there. All right, Lake Arbuckle scores again. I changed colors of my little shaky head worm right there. But another, just a little chunky bass right there hit it. It looks like that's what I'm destined to catch today. I want to mention a couple of other things about Arbuckle Lake. First of all, I mentioned earlier that it's got a lot of hydrilla growing up in it for the first time in a couple of years, and I've moved further up the lake right now back into shallower water, and I've noticed that the backs of all of these little pockets back here are loaded with hydrilla beds. I'll show you just a quick shot of what that looks like. In the little darker water in the middle there is patches of hydrilla. The other thing, this is a great crappie lake, and they catch those on brush piles. The Wildlife Department here in Oklahoma has sunk a bunch of man-made fish attractors, brush piles, and they've marked those with a buoy that looks something like this. You can fish over the tops of those and a lot of crappie out of those brush piles. Let's go to Louisiana right now, see what's happening with your Cajun Bites, Cajun Phil and Kevin.
Hey friends, Captain Kevin Broussard here with your Fox Sports Outdoor Report. Saltwater edition from Calcasieu Lake. I tell you what, we're in the fall pattern and the flounder run is on. Went out today, had a great day throwing soft plastics, tipping them with shrimp down on the south end of the ship channel. A lot of flounder starting to move up on the edge. The water temperature's dropping. The flounder are getting ready to do their spawning and migrating out towards the jetties. We decided to go flounder fishing this morning, but I talked to some of the other guys out there. While we were catching our flounder, they were catching trout. The bite is on in southwest Louisiana. You need to make a trip. Come on down. Right now, I'm going to turn it over to old Cajun Phil. He's going to talk to you a little bit about the up-and-coming hunting season.
You saw what Captain Kevin got this morning. It was a great morning to fishing. He ended up with a good mess of flounder, redfish, and speckled trout. It's been like that all week long. Keep in mind, here in southwest Louisiana, our duck season is open. Captain Kevin guys every day but Monday and Tuesday. Get yourself a trip down here to Cajun Paradise Lodge and Charter. Get yourself some of these speckled trout, redfish, or flounder. Kevin, it's gonna be good, you said, all the way through the winter.
Yes, sir. It's just now kicking off. Looks like we're having a pretty dry fall, so we ought to have an outstanding winter to do some excellent fishing all winter long.
Ooh, I got one. Right here on the corner of a little rock riprap. Ooh, it's a decent fish. Oh, a fat one. Got a crankbait fish right here before dark. Hey, it's getting dark, everybody. So we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna be back with your Costa Catch of the Week and your Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff and a whole bunch more. And I'm gonna have to do a little surgery to get that one out, but caught a nice bass. Sun's already gone down, it's getting dark. Got a few more casts to make up here in front of us, so stay with us and we'll be right back to Arbuckle Lake right after this.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Mercury, the official outboard of the Southwest Outdoors Report for 10 years running. By Excite, start positive, stay positive. By Lew's Reels and Rods, feel the difference. And by Onyx Personal Flotation Devices and Rainwear, keeping you safe on the water.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for our Whataburger Ask the Pro. This week's question is from David in Tulsa, who writes, I'm new to bass fishing. My friends are always saying you can put those baits up now. How does a beginner know when to change lures? For the answer, we asked last year's winner of the Toyota Texas Bass Classic, Keith Combs.
That's a really good question, and as a pro angler, there's not a real good solid answer to that. Fish your confidence baits first, and if you're not getting bit on those and you feel like you're in a good area, that's when it's really time to change. And make small variations first, because probably what you thought you would catch them on is pretty close to the right deal. So make small variations, but let the fish tell you what they want. If you're not catching what you think you need to, then change baits.
Thank you, Keith. If you have a question for one of the pros, just visit our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com, follow the Ask the Pro link, and submit your information. Now back to Barry with our Costa Catch of the Week.
Oh, I got one right here at dark. Right here at dark on a crankbait. Right here, the very last thing. And I threw a crankbait right out here and got bit. That's the best fish of the day right there. Yeah, how about that? Don't ever, never give up. You keep chunking out there, and right here at dark, I got a good one to bite right there. All right, well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna let that one go back. And I think we do have enough light to at least tell you about our Costa Catch of the Week winner. David Cook of Conroe, Texas, is showing off a 14-pound plus largemouth bass he caught at Lake Conroe in South Texas, not too far from Houston. Now, if you would like to enter the contest, everything turns off our Nerve Center, our website at southwestouttdoorsreport.com. On the right-hand side of the page, click the Costa Catch of the Week box, send us your big fish photo, and you could win a brand new pair of Costa sunglasses like David does on this week's show. You can see all the Costa lens styles and frame styles at their website. Again, go to our front page. You can see everything that Costa makes right there, including this month's frame style of the month, the Galveston frames. Time right now for the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff feature to show you the gear that you'll need if you want to fish here at Arbuckle Lake. And I took a quick shot earlier while the sun was still out so you could see these, but on the top of your frame, it's a lipless rattling crankbait to fish the emerging hydrilla beds that are coming up in the lake in lots of different places. Go a little deeper with a medium diving crankbait. That's the one that I just caught that nice bass on there. It runs 8 to 12 feet deep for the deeper rocks. Then if you want to go a little deeper still, rig up a shaky head rig, a lead jig head with a 4 or 5 inch finesse worm on it. That one's made by the Jean LaRue Worm Company. Don't forget to join us next week on Thursday night at 10:30, and that same show will air again on Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. You can always get to everything from our front page of the website, including our YouTube channel where you can watch all the past episodes of our show if you miss any. And from there, you can also get to our Facebook page where you'll get lots of fishing news, information, photographs, and video that you will not see here on the television show. From beautiful Arbuckle Lake in the Arbuckle Mountains of South Central Oklahoma, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.